Hello again, Leo, and I hope all of you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. So before we begin your reading, I have two cards here for you, and what you pulled here is fantastic, and it seems to be the trend for the fire signs this week. So from Le Vampire, you pulled nobility, honor, higher standards, and idealistic. And the blessing here says that this is a wonderful opportunity to do the very best you can, which in turn will shift your vibration and attract wonderful new opportunities with honorable people to you. It also talks about tapping into the higher self, and that you're being asked to do the right thing and to do the best thing, even if it's not the easiest thing for you to do. You're also being asked to be of service and assistance to others. Then on top of that, you pulled Destiny from Chakra Wisdom. And Destiny is saying that this is a time to take a risk. Dare to have your life the way you decide. Are you willing to make sacrifices to have what you desire? And then the key ideas here are true love, taking a stand, positive omen, radical thinking, deep satisfaction, and ability to change. Now, for me, looking at the two of them, to me, it's saying that you're setting a higher standard when it comes to creating your life the way you see it. The Leo readings have had, this trend of needing to make sacrifices and working so hard to get what you want. And now it's like you're taking a look inward and realizing that you can create your life the way that you choose, but you're doing it in a way where you're setting a higher standard for yourself, which is fantastic. All right, Leo, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. Very nice, very nice. To me, this speaks of support. So even though there may have been like this feeling of, needing to go against what other people were expecting you to do, again, you're pulling this feeling of support from the people that love you. And then more importantly, this is also about celebrating with them. I like it. I like seeing this because I feel like, what you're doing here as far as with nobility and destiny is going to create some celebration in your life. Oh, and in the past, the Three of Swords. So, when you make the choice to create your life the way that you want it, it may affect others. And unfortunately, when it comes to making sacrifices to get what you want, it can cause heartbreak and separation. Now, I feel like the threes, man. I feel like with this being the past coming through, that this is kind of an acknowledgement as to, some suffering that may have happened due to you deciding to do what you want now. But it's like you still have support. There's still people that are supporting your vision of your life. It may have been heartbreaking to have to make some sacrifices, but, I again, with the Hierophant, nobility, and destiny, you're doing the right thing. And more importantly, you're doing the right thing for you. And in the present, now, seeing the Seven of Swords, to me, looking at this, it's like, I'm so glad that Three of Cups is a signifier. I feel like what's happening here is that, when you speak about sacrificing, you've had to leave something behind, and I feel like it causes feeling of separation. And now you're protecting what it is that's important to you because, again, you're wanting to do with your life what you want, not what other people are telling you to do. And when it comes to that, unfortunately, a lot of times there may be separation with people in your life, and I hate to see that coming out of the Three of Cups because, again, to me, I just no. That being the signifier to me is saying support. You have support through this. You're going to have to let something go. And, it may cause this heartbreaking feeling, but I feel like if you don't start actively going after your desires and setting that higher standard of what you want, you're going to be left heartbroken. But, I really feel like you have support here for what you're going through. Oh, yeah. So future conditions. Look at the threes. Shit. The Three of Wands goes back to the Empress. This is about manifestation. This is watching the proverbial ship come in. And, again, it's your passion. It's your passion. Looking at that with destiny and going after your desires. Yes, yes. There's work being done here, but it's for your passion and what you truly want. It's like sitting back and seeing everything you want just manifest and come together out of the work that you've done, especially here. I mean, that's good to see. And again, I feel like you have support. Your best path to follow. Now, look at the 3s and the 7s. My God. The 7 of Pentacles is about reevaluating what you have and saying, what can I do to change this? Or what can I do to make this grow? You've started something here and you're seeing this growth, but, do you want to change this? Do you want to risk this? Is what you're doing right now working for you and creating more abundance in your life? I mean, those are the questions that come out of this. And seeing that, I really feel like it's telling you that you need to reevaluate what's going on here. Because what you're doing is truly on the right track for your own purposes. But something here needs to be looked at differently. And, when it comes to what you're manifesting, again, with nobility, it's like being ethical about what you're trying to create and not just doing it because you can or because it's the easiest thing to do. It's, again, setting that higher standard for yourself. But man, there's something that's going to have to be left behind in order for you to continue. But, where that feeling of heartbreak and betrayal comes in, it's like you need to reevaluate that. Because again, the swords, it's mental. It's mental shit. But I still feel like, with the High Priest especially, you're doing the right thing for you. Oh, very nice. Very, very nice. So, when it comes to setting a higher standard, when it comes to having opportunities for, new love in your life and, following your passions here, yeah, that's the perfect thing to do, But, I mean, looking at it this way, it's like, But again, with that being in your environment, to me, it's like there's going to be an opportunity opening up for you to really have some emotional fulfillment in your life, and again, there's this support. But you're going to have to leave something behind. But I really feel like that 7 of Pentacles is saying that you need to reevaluate what's going on here. Because you certainly don't want that to stop you. You don't want to let that mental shit block you from what you're trying to create, and passions and then emotional fulfillment. It's something new, but it's definitely what you want, not what somebody else wants, which is why I feel like this is what's coming through. I feel like somebody else doesn't want you to do these things. And there's like this need to reevaluate it. Oh, your hopes and your fears, I hate seeing the two together. It being in your hopes and your fears is saying that you're fearing, the mental shit. The 9 of Swords is mental anguish, despair, regret, sleepless nights, crying alone. It's all the mental shit that we do to ourselves. It's all mental. I mean, look at it. Look at the swords. No. It needs to be reevaluated. You cannot allow outside influences in other people to block you from creating your life the way you want it. And it needs to be looked at again, because I feel like these feelings here are going to create this fear, but you have an opportunity here. I mean, truly, you have an opportunity to have something so much better. But don't do that to yourself. See it for what it is. In the position that it's in, it's a fear. It's a fear, especially when it comes to having to leave something behind. And you're trying to create that support in your life, You know, unfortunately, sometimes not everybody is going to support you in your vision and what you're truly wanting for your life. And we have to walk away. That's when we need to let them go. You know, and it can be heartbreaking, and there's this feeling of separation and then all this mental shit that follows it. But, you know, you can't stop here. You know, you cannot let this mental shit swallow you and stop you from this here, because this is beautiful. And again, that Three of Cups, I still feel like there's support coming through. Like you have people that love you and care about you and want you to see this emotional fulfillment versus this shit here. Oh, and the outcome, and there you are. Hello, Leo. Strength is saying that you have the inner strength to deal with whatever challenges you are facing. You have support and you have assistance. I mean, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I feel like looking at this that there may be some situations going on with some people in your life that are not exactly on the same page as you when it comes to actively creating your life the way that you choose. But, you know, you are setting a higher standard for yourself here when it comes to creating this emotional fulfillment, you know, and again, this is like new opportunities coming through that may have to do with new love, new creative ideas and creativity. Yeah. I feel like, you know, what you're manifesting here, it's a new path for you, but you have to reevaluate the swords. That's too much mental shit. And you pulling out is perfect. Be who you are. Tap into that courage and that inner strength. You'll be able to handle what is going on. You know, you may have to leave something or somebody or some people behind here, but it's for you. And the people that truly love you and care about you and support you will be there for you, for sure. But you need to really take a second look at what's going on mentally here, because, you know, you can't allow that to block you, because you're taking a risk here. You know, you're taking that risk and creating your life the way you choose. And you pulling out is perfect. It's saying you can do this. You can have your life the way you choose. Embrace your emotions. Don't push down your feelings or judge your emotions. And I like that with the Nine of Swords sitting there. You know, even though this is the mental junk, you know, it can create some hard emotions as well. And I feel like, you know, if you need to go through that, you're going to have to feel it. You can't push that aside. And it's no wonder why it's showing up in your hopes and your fears. But I really feel like here, you know, if you start speaking more lovingly to the people that are around you that are not understanding what you're doing, and to yourself, I think that it will create support. And again, you're limitless. You can do whatever the hell you want. Nobody else is going to tell you how to live your life. They can sure the hell try. But again, we cannot control other people, no matter how hard we try. It doesn't work that way. And you need to be who you are. And remember that you are limitless. Okay, Leo, so I really feel like what you're trying to do here is create some support for what it is that you're wanting to do with your own life. Because again, with destiny, you know, it seems to be this like continuous thing with Leo. It's like you're wanting to do with your life what you choose, but there's always like something blocking you. And here now it's you taking a risk and creating your life the way that you choose. But I feel like what happens here is that there may be some separation with some people who don't truly understand that you are wanting to have something different in your life. Now, when it comes to that, speaking the language of love, yeah, you definitely want to do that when you're having to separate from people who don't support your vision for your life. And, you know, I feel like the reason why this is happening is because you have an opportunity in your environment right now to have some emotional fulfillment in your life. And it's like you're wanting to manifest this. And Unfortunately, what's happening is there's this fear of having this emotional suffering and like mental junk that's going to come up. So when you talk about embracing your emotions, yeah. You know, typically when you look at the Nine of Swords, it's all the mental shit that we do to ourselves, right? But I feel like the reason why this is showing up is because it may create some hard emotions for you. And you don't want to push those down. You need to deal with them as they come. But, you know, I feel like the big message here is that you are limitless. You have the right to create your life the way that you choose. And it seems to be this continuous thing for Leo. And you're doing something different here. There may be some heartbreak and some pain involved when it comes to having to leave behind those who do not support you, is what I feel like. But, you know, again, when you talk about speaking the language of love, you definitely want to do that when it comes to the people that do support you and do love you and do see your vision for your life. Because these are the people that will be there for you. And I absolutely love these two together. And seeing you come out on top is fantastic because no matter what happens here, you are tapping into your inner strength and your courage, and you are limitless. You have the right to create your life the way that you want.